What's up, Star Wars fans? Today I got predictions for episode 16 of The Bad Batch. After an amazing episode 15 and part 1 of the finale, I can't wait to see what part 2 has in store for us. That said, I asked you, the community, what you thought would happen in this episode, and as always, you came through with some fantastic predictions. And the prediction with the most upvotes on the community tab comes from Magnus TNT, and they state, "I'm guessing they will escape with Crosshair and AZ, but be captured by Rampart's Venator. After convincing Crosshair to rejoin them, they will go on a rampage and make it to the bridge where Crosshair kills Rampart." And Magnus, that would make for an absolutely action-packed finale, but unfortunately, I think it might be a little too violent of a storyline for the Bad Batch. But moving on to another prediction here, we have Anus Aimer, and they state they have to figure out whether or not Crosshair was telling the truth about his chip being removed. And yeah, Aimer, that was a huge twist in last episode. Personally, I think he is telling the truth, but I'd really like to know how exactly he got his inhibitor chip removed. But we also have a commenter, Peg, who left a great prediction on the community tab. They stated they want to see Crosshair returning to the Batch, maybe by putting his life on the line to kill Rampart. Maybe he is seriously wounded and decides to strike out alone for a while, but is ultimately alive and reconciled with his brothers. And at this point, that's something I hadn't really thought of, Peg. The fact that Crosshair has the choice to leave the Empire and also leave his brothers and strike out alone. I think that would make for a very interesting ending to season 1. But up next we have the Medieval Man 9, and he states, "I think it will be an entire episode where the Bad Batch has to figure out how to escape from the sinking city. And all while they're doing this, they have a running argument with Crosshair, and eventually they have to come to terms with their own guilt over the fact that they did abandon him and that they left him alone with an organization like the Empire. Towards the end, however, they will find in order for the others to get to the ship, one of them is going to have to go make a sacrifice. Of course, Hunter will make the decision to be the one to stay behind. But before he can do so, Crosshair will make the decision for him. But just as we're about to lose Crosshair, AZ will do it instead, forcing Crosshair to go with the rest of the Bad Batch. And great prediction as always, Medieval Man 9. And I gotta say, I really like the idea that Crosshair does end up with the Bad Batch. To me, it's like that what if scenario as to what if Darth Vader had actually turned back to the good side and he had survived. Are the Bad Batch going to be able to trust Crosshair? And is Crosshair really going to buy into fighting against the Empire? Or in season 2, would he eventually betray them and rejoin the Empire? I think if Crosshair does survive and he joins back up with the Bad Batch, that just leaves so many questions open for season 2 and would create so much suspense for the audience. Well, I'll let you know in my preview episode coming out this Wednesday. And hey, if you haven't already, check out my video on who I think might die in the season finale of The Bad Batch. That all said though, let me know your predictions in the comments below. As always, I'm Mike, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.